Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. We should have known, right? We should have known that this was too good to be true. We should have known. We should have known. You can say that about a lot of things in Battlegrounds. But with that being said, look, when there's anything competitive, the people at the top, especially if you've got the skills and the resources and the intelligence of somebody like KT1, they're going to go for it. So even though I've done one Battlegrounds fight, and I may never do one again. Who knows? I might do one with some subscribers, maybe with some drinks. I may not even remember doing Battlegrounds. But I get that people are enjoying it. And I think it's fun, like the format's fun. But I still miss the main reason why I played it in the first place. And that was just getting credit for trying. It's nice when you get even 100 trophy tokens as kind of a quote-unquote cash back program for when you lose. Because if you're like me, you know you're going to lose about half the times that you play on a good week. And if you have a roster that actually is not beneficial to the nodes, like say a lot of your champions that you ranked up for Battlegrounds, I don't know, hypothetically, do armor break, and then they take that away. Oops. But one of the things that we've been asking for in this game for a long time is the ability to switch up masteries and have that be in just the press of a button. And in this case, Kabam's always said, we'll give this to you, and then you'll spend the same amount of units, but you won't have to reset and remember where you put everything, which honestly would be a amazing quality of life update. Well, of course, you can see on my Suicide Mastery tree that there is no switch up in our actual masteries still. It is 2022. Shoot, we're getting closer at the time of recording this to 2023. No help. But they did promise us the ability to switch up masteries for Battlegrounds. The problem is people like my friend Booth732 attempted this and it went the opposite of well. It essentially caused his Battlegrounds experience to be unbelievably terrible because it didn't work. So, Booth732 submitted a request help ticket simply titled Battlegrounds and talked about how his mastery work with his different decks were not properly saving. And some of you watching this may be nodding your head right now saying, yep, I have seen the same thing. Screw this BS promise. Well, here is the actual language of the help ticket that got a response from Kabam. At least he got a response from Kabam. I never actually got one when I filed my last help ticket because my arena was locked out for 3 days. And if that bug ever comes back, if there's one thing I've learned, it's that there's nothing they can do for you and you're just screwed until the arena resets. Alright, it says, of course, thank you for contacting Kabam support about the masteries and Battlegrounds not properly saving when a deck is made. Thanks to reports from players such as yourself, our game team was able to determine an issue with masteries saving in Battlegrounds properly when a deck is made. The intended function here is for your current masteries to be saved when a deck is made, so that even if you were to change your masteries after the deck was made, the masteries would remain as they were for that deck and its usage within Battlegrounds. No kidding. We don't need you to re-explain to us what's supposed to happen. We just need you to fix what's supposed to happen. But here's where it gets kabammed. Unfortunately, it appears that in spite of our initial testing prior to the release of the feature having been successful, it did not function properly once introduced to the contest in a game-wide setting. Our game team is working to have this resolved as soon as possible. In the meantime, we recommend that you do not make changes to your masteries with the intention of them functioning in a certain formation in Battlegrounds unless you are willing to use the masteries you have active in Battlegrounds, as this will be the only functional way to control masteries being used in battles in the Battlegrounds. Please understand that since the issue is ongoing and we do not have a clear record of what masteries may or may not have been intended to be used, nor how many units may be involved in changing masteries due to this issue, we will not be attempting to provide individual compensation or changes to players' accounts here at Kabam Support. However, our game team understands that due to this issue, some players may have used units that ultimately did not provide them the benefit of the mastery changes they intended to make. Considering this, our game team will be seriously considering what compensation or changes are appropriate to be made to assist players with this once the issue has been fully resolved. Okay. So they are actually considering compensation for this. Now, are they going to give that to the players affected? Probably not. But hopefully. In the meantime, this was going to be game-changing, right? This was going to be the thing, at least in a mode that we had seen come to fruition after years of asking for it. I just love the phrase, because this could sum up so much of my experience with the company, right? I love the phrase, in spite of our initial testing prior to the release of the feature having been successful, it did not function properly once introduced to the contest in a game-wide setting. You know, I was hitting all those free throws in practice. But then in a game, just couldn't find the basket. I mean, it's not my fault. It was working, just not in a game-wide setting. Wow. Well, sorry to those of you who are still affected by this. Booth 732, thank you for filing a help ticket and getting this information out to the community. As always, it is an honor to take the information and disseminate it in a video for overall knowledge and help of summoners watching this, or anyone that just happens to click on this video in general. Thank you for doing so.